Here we are, another day, another look. First, I'm gonna start with my base, of course. I just realized this new formula from I Need a Nude palette. It does have a lot of fine glitters in this, especially in this new shade. I'm using new Pat McGrath primer, and before that I did apply a little bit of combination of these two as my base, Natasha Denona's new High Glam Concealer and Your Backstage in 0W. This one is really light, but I just wanted to lighten up a little bit my base, and plus I do love when I have lighter, not thick coverage when it comes to eyelids. Today is going to be really interesting. When I was using this palette yesterday for the first time, I realized that this palette would be great for the spotlight look. So I am starting with MC Gel Eyeliner in number 77 from Inglot. Anyways, I'll start by mapping. And when you're starting with this, just remember that the line has to go like in a parallel way. So if this is your angle, this is going to be your angle here as well. If your angle is this, it's going to be this. So just make sure from the start that you do this right. I will be using several small brushes. For me now it's important to blend this gel eyeliner, but the edges will be sharp. I can definitely go higher, but whenever I'm doing this, I want to start lower just in case if I go too much, then to correct this, it's gonna take me forever. So I'm always cautious when I'm doing that. This one will be pretty for pictures when your eyes are closed. Actually, today's look is inspired by one of the looks that I already have done, and I really did love this, but I've done this a while ago with the chunky glitters. So that's the difference. And here I'll try to do everything that I can just within one palette. Now when I've done this, I'm gonna go on the edge of my eye and just to see where I'm at. Like I said, the angle has to be the same. You can even map if you want to. You know, if it's easier for you, just start off by mapping. And you can see right now that the angle has to go a little bit lower. If this gets too dry, if you're using this product, you can always go in with the Inglot's Duraline. You know what? It'll make an application easier for you. So this is just a rough sketch for now. We'll fill in everything, but I do need to have my guidelines. If you're watching my tutorials, you'll see how a lot of the time I do start with the guideline and with the color story prepared, just because I think it's crucial for the end result when it comes to any technique and any makeup look. Again, at this point, don't worry too much as long as you are within your guidelines, what you want to do. We can always add color later, and we will go on top of the eyeshadows with this. If you need to correct this line, you can always go with the Vaseline. That's the easiest way to make a clear line. I will add a little bit of liner here, but this can actually take some time, but it's definitely worth it. Now I'm gonna darken up this edge, and again take in a little bit harder blending brush. Not just a regular blending brush, this is kind of a bullet blending brush, because it's easier to blend this type of products. Also, just so that I know where I'm at, applying my liner. Just at this point, trying to fill in as much as I can. At this time, I will also go in my waterline. Once I'm done with this part, I'm going in with the shade Silhouette, which is the darkest color in this palette, and it is matte color and darkest color overall. So I am using this color purely on the edges, on both of the sides. So what am I doing here? I will repeat here. Now I feel I can go in with the blending brush, even though it's pretty dark color, but let's move on to a next shade, which is Tender. I am also applying that color here on the edges as well. Nothing too much. This is pretty dark color as well when you think about it. What we're going to do now is to add this spotlight technique, which is the main focus of today's look, and I think it looks gorgeous with this wet new formula. First of all, I'm going to start by lighten up the center. So I'm not going in with my current skin tone, but I will add up a little light in the center. I think it's the best to use brush something like this. Flat brush, it's the best. Take the excess off, and now on your right and your left, following the direction, you just apply. Well, I think I'm gonna put too much now. Anyways, I do need to blend this a little bit. Still, you can go with the eyeshadow, of course, on top of this, which I will do. And I'm gonna go in with the shade Tender. See, I'm actually using pretty dark last shade when it comes to matte. I'm still working with the shade Tender. Oh, for this, I did use Makeup by Mario Concealer. Wait, this is in a shade 180, and what I wanted to say, this will depend, the shade will depend on your current base that you have. So for me, couple of shades lighter, it's that one. I will start with the center, and I will be using shade Sheen. Now for this, you're gonna need like really small, precise brushes. Of course, Fix Plus. You can use basically any fixing spray, so I will go in the center. So two things, you can either go from the darkest sparkling eyeshadow, or you can go from the center, which is the lightest. So this is what I have now, and now I have to spread this. From the easiest is using tip of my brush, and just on my left and right, just to spread a little bit this color. Don't go too far towards the dark, because it's going to take a lot of space, and we still need to apply like a couple of more shimmers. Also make sure, of course, all the time that it's aligning up with the direction that you're using. Now I mixed shade Filigree and Delilah. These two were kind of best combination for the next step. So this is Filigree, and when I tell you I do apply smallest amount of this product, I really do. Delilah. So when I mix these two, I do get good shade for what I need right now. And of course, I have to add this shade Muse, a little bit harder to pick it up. So this one goes on the edge of the lightest color. Again, whatever I'm doing here, I'm applying same thing here on each side. It's raining here, it's thunderstorm, and it's really bad weather, even though it's summer. I mean, it's the end of the August, and today it's just way more colder than, well, the last couple of days were so hot. I went to sleep last night at, I think it was like 2 a.m. trying to edit my video. My first initial review of this palette. I can't just do one look with this palette, you guys. I want to give it a shot, and I really do want to test this one as much as I can. Also, what I will do now, taking shade Sheen. Now Sheen is much more as a topper shade, and I will add that one just on this area right here where my light is kind of coming out. Last part of the eyeshadow tutorial is lower lash line. I'm gonna be using a little bit of my base. I could even wipe with a clear Pat McGrath just eyeshadow primer, because everything here will be darkened. Taking shade Silhouette, and with a small brush, I'm gonna apply this one right around. Next, I'm gonna be using shade Tender underneath previous shade. Just want to make sure everything lines up. Now I'm going in with the shade Filigree and Delilah. I don't know, I just love mixing these two together. I'm going back with a Silhouette shade. Also, lashes that I'm wearing are from Ardell 421 Naked Eyelashes. For my inner corner, I will be using this Sheen Beautiful shade. It's more as a topper, but it'll go beautifully with this. So this is today's final look. At the same time, it's really intense and kind of a lightweight in the middle when the spotlight is. Obviously, if you're doing this technique, you don't have to go with the black eyeliner that I did. I just wanted to emphasize this whole technique like this. Also, I was thinking to make a look, one with the glam, one with the I Need a Nude palette. Let me know what you think about that idea. And once again, I do see this palette as a glam palette. Nude glam palette that definitely can suit a lot of skin tones. And another thing that I love, that you do have depth and light in this palette. Before you leave, make sure to watch this video. And guys, I will see you in my next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.